Hello, hello, everyone. Hey, hey. Happy New Year. As always, I am excited to get with you guys today. It's going to be a great day. So come on in, say hello. Oh, good. Happy New Year. Good morning, but also Happy New Year. Oh, awesome. Come on and say hello, you guys. So today, come on in, chat me up. Awesome. Hi, Connie. Hi, Debbie. Keep them coming. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I am stoked for today. So today it's 2026. I'm calling this 2026 on the cusp. And I'm going to put context to that today about what that means. Some of you have been in my very cuspy world lately. Um, But hi, Lori. Hi, hi, hi. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hi, Suzette. Happy New Year. Come on in. Oh, yeah. Say hey when you get here. I love a little, I love a little back and forth. You guys say hey to me, and I am hearing you suddenly. It's how my intuition works. I get this like these live streams are co-creative, right? So you say hey, I tap in. I feel your vibes. Hi, Lori. Awesome. Oh, hi, honey. Hello, hello. So my honey is in the house today. My love is here. So I like love that. Our lives have been so incredibly busy lately. So we've been like all over. So it's nice to be here enjoying this new year with you guys together again. And also, oh, good morning. Oh, let me move my little box here. Hi, Charlotte. Awesome, awesome. Here's to Co-Vision 2026. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Christina. Oh my gosh. Hi, I haven't seen you in a minute. Awesome. I'm glad you're in the house. So come on in. Yes, say hey. So, whew, I have things to share today. I have things to share, and it's good stuff. So I really want to welcome you to not only this new year, but I want to like right out of the gate invite you to the future version of yourself, the next level of you, because I feel this energy pulsing so strongly, you guys. It's crazy. And look, I'm going to set the tone in a second, but one of the things that I really want to make clear is that as you stand on the cusp of this new year, you're standing on the cusp of the new you. And it sounds so cliche to me. New year, new you, right? It's so cliche and so way overused. But energetically, it's sound. It's really sound energetically. There are ways that it's not very sound, and I want to like bring you to a different place today so that you can use today and into tomorrow and into this birthing of the new year as a really as an activation. So what people have done in the past is, well, what people still do to this day is they say, you know, I'm going to set my New Year's resolutions and all these things. And I'm here to tell you the New Year's resolution does not support you, it does not help you. And if I can help you reframe today and kick today off and use the energetics that are available for you today into this new year, it will bring me great joy. And I just want to shift this for you. Hi, Patricia. Awesome. Come on in, you guys. Say hi. So, I appreciate you guys so much. Co-creation. This is such a co-creation. So, story. So I became a coach in like 1997, right? So I've almost been in this business for like 3 decades. And I mean, it is a complete, I mean, the name of my business is Evolve Life Coaching, right? You guys see that. And the name of my current Facebook group is Evolution of You. I have a new group that I've started called CUSP, which is brand new energy and brand new intention. But back in the day, and I just want to rewind, so I want to give the timeline for just a second. But way back in the day, I was like this new coach on the scene. Nobody even knew what a coach was. And the Channel 7, our local news here, called me and said, "Oh, you're a coach. And this is like this new profession. Would you come and do a talk on like goal setting and New Year's resolutions and things like that?" So the news had me in, and I met the I don't know, I met my contact there at like 5 in the morning, where I was appropriately dressed with my gray blazer and my sharp black business boots, and I was ready to talk not about resolutions, but about setting intentions. So way back in the day, um, early 2000s, I'm sitting on the news and talking about how we shouldn't be setting the resolution and how they are really actually pretty toxic to your growth. And so they never asked me back again, but that's okay because my message like landed on those who really needed to hear this, because resolutions, you guys, when we tap into like creating the resolution is steeped in frequencies that sabotage you instead of support you. I am all for a red hot, blazing, beautiful, vision based intention, and I'm going to get to that. And I'm big on the vision and the vision that pulls you forward, right? But this resolution stuff, how long? I mean, the stats are clear. Like somewhere along the way, I think even Harvard or something published a study that said of all the resolutions, like people drop off at a week, at 2 weeks, and there's only a small, tiny little percentage of people who keep their resolutions beyond a month. I mean, it's small. And you know where people set their New Year's resolutions, right? Love, joy, purpose, health, and freedom is what's on their vision board. Everybody wants to save more money or spend less money, or they want to create more abundance, or they want to find the love of their life, or get in shape, or exercise, do that, that. But the problem is that it's our come from that is like the great sabotager. And tell me if you've been there, by the way. Have you ever been, have you ever sabotaged, right? Connie, the gym will be busy for the next 2 weeks, but it can be a transformational commitment if you make it from the right place and you have the correct installation of the energetics that take you the distance. And one of the things that I'm really good at over these years is pulling up my spiritual bootstraps and making commitments to myself. And even when I wobble, I still keep those commitments. But it's your come from, it's your philosophy, it's your energetics that actually takes you the distance. Resolutions at the crux of it are rooted in effort, they're rooted in struggle, and they're rooted in failure. And every single time we make a resolution or we make these promises to ourselves that we can't keep and they aren't grounded in the way that we need to ground them today, we create a loop in our mind that is based in, I hate to say this, but it's true, self-depreciation. So every time you fall off the bandwagon, you create a neuro loop, a neuronet specifically, that validates that you can't get it done, you can't finish things, here you are again, putting yourself on the back burner. So it's this loop of self-depreciation. So I just want to like make today like a resolution free zone. Give yourself permission to not set them, but do something else instead. And today we're going to talk about that. I literally have I like to spin, I look at it like this work is like a crystal, and so are you, by the way. But it's got all these facets. And today we're going to talk about, like, for me, three really sacred emotional codes to launching your new year and having it be amazing and having it be great. So a long time ago, I said no to the New Year's resolutions. It is a scam. It sets us up for failure, and it loops you in self-depreciation. And I mean, have you guys ever created anything from the frequency and vibration of self-depreciation? Maybe you can beat yourself into submission, into that gym, right? Connie, I'll use your example. Maybe you can beat yourself into submission, but it isn't until you actually realize like how anti self that is, that you create the experience in your body that you're after, because the gym is a vibrational match to self-love and appreciation. But when you're coming in the resolution with effort and self-depreciation and struggle and whip yourself whip yourself into submission, this time I'm going to do it. And I understand, like, there's a very like thin line here for me between like showing up really powerfully for yourself. I always say, yeah, I've got this divine show up plan. I have a divine show up and plan in my business. I have a divine show up plan for my walking meditations. If I fall off the bandwagon, which I have just a tiny bit over the holidays, and just so much going on, it's not like I've failed. It's that I have a vibrational habit that I've created, and I have to recalibrate and wiggle myself back into the commitment that I have that doesn't go away. That's, and when I'm ready, I'm ready. But until then, there's no self-depreciation going on here, and I'm not here to say that I don't have thoughts about, I wish, I have contrasts. Like, I wish I was firmer. I wish I was this. I wish I was that. I have some contrast floating. But the emotional come from is where you need to start, because otherwise we get into self-depreciation, whether it's creating more money or creating the body that you want to create, or being in gratitude every day, or finally healing the things that you want to heal to create the life that you want to live, like finally being in that spiritual practice even. So we have lots of things that we desire that we say, I didn't do it yet, or I haven't gotten there yet. But today we're going to talk about sacred codes, sacred emotional codes. So let me talk a little bit about CUSP first, okay? So a while ago, a year or two-ish ago, um, maybe a year, and I've always talked about this, like being on the cusp language, but I had this massive download about the fact that we as human beings wait to be on the cusp of our life, okay? We wait to be on the cusp. We wait for, everything to line up, and we are sitting on like waiting, 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 waiting. And I want you to imagine for a minute that the cusp is not something that you wait for. It is something that you bring yourself to consciously. But I want you today to feel the feeling. It's such a cusp. It's like being on the new year is so cuspy. Like here, right here, we can imagine we're standing between this ending and this beginning. And in this sweet spot, we stand saying, I'm going to bring myself here actually every single day. It's really pointed here, this ending and this beginning. And there's a lot of like, um, like the energy of the cycles is right here. The energy of the unfolding, the energy of the becoming of your dreams, the becoming of your future, the becoming of you, the evolution of you, right? That's what we do here. It's the evolution of you. But we stand here on the cusp with intention, and get to make a choice to bring ourselves here every day, despite the conditions that we observe. So you might say, I'm not there yet. I have so much work to do to climb this ladder. I'm like, okay, what if you brought yourself to the cusp and the feeling of it every single day? Like this right here, this New Year energy is a beautiful mirror for cusp energy. It's cuspy. It's intention setting. It's evolution. It's designed for your evolution. It's designed to be a mirror between every end is a new beginning, right? Who remembers this lesson? It's like lesson 99 or something in the M100, right? Every ending is a new beginning. And so we tap into like bringing ourselves to the cusp, but also making this beautiful choice to be in the evolution of ourselves. So feel me on this vibration. This is where your vision lives. This is where infinite potential lives. This is where possibility opens up. This is where you get a whiff and a glimpse of who you really are. This is where you say, oh my gosh, it's here I rise and fly. But it is so intentional. We wait for circumstance to shift and give us this feeling or this new year. But I really want to like encourage you. It's not quite the right word. I really want to have you understand the depths of what the energy that is available for you as you stand on the cusp, whether it is right here on the 31st of December, moving into the 1st, or it's day to day, minute to minute, minute to minute, minute to minute, moment to moment. You get to bring yourself as a powerful conscious creator moment to moment in your life, and it is oh so cuspy. It's threshold energy, it's new beginnings energy, it's being in the powerful now energy. And when we stand there, how does it feel? Tell me in the chat, by the way, how does it feel? Hopeful, expectant. Tell me what you got. How does it feel to even like turn your attention to the cusp of this moment, the cusp of what's possible for you? Exhilarating. Drop some more words for me. Tell me how it feels. Because exciting, yes, as you turn your attention, this is the work. This is gateway energy. As you just simply turn your attention to what's possible, you activate it as if it's now, because it is. Exciting, hopeful, fast-paced flow. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I feel like we're clipping along, like this is unfolding, and peaceful. Anticipation with excitement. Yeah. So I'm here to just tell you right now, like, stop disempowering yourselves through your self-depreciation. I say that with all the love in the world, but we are living a life sometimes run by our conditioning, or run by the way that we think, or run by our need for safety and our belief in scarcity consciousness. We're run by those things. And I'm here to say, like, you have to literally bring yourself 100% responsibility model to the cusp, and never ever again set a resolution for your life that will set you up for failure and more self-depreciation. You get to reinvent yourself every single day. And if there is anything that I stand for, it is that. It is the reinvention of self every single day. And that's why we're here. But today is so incredibly spicy. It's so incredibly potent because you can feel it. It's like super visceral. You can get into the feeling of it. But that is not apart from you on the day to day. We just think so. Somebody made these rules, and I would call them attachments almost, right? That we've got to do it a certain way, push ourselves really hard, be in the effort. I am such a good efforter. I am such a good hard worker. I am such a good push through-er, right? Like, I'm really good at that. And I've become very clear that it does not work that way. So this is sacred emotional code. It's creation code. And I'm not going to talk to you about the cusp equation today, because you can get that over in the group. I've got so much for you guys in that group. Oh my God. If you are not in that group, I have a 5-day cusp manifestation challenge. I have a 21-day transformation challenge, the life transformation challenge. We just wrapped that up. We're doing heart breath. I have all these free resources for you so that you can get your arms around these energies and really get coherent, specifically right now as you start this new year. So, by the way, if you need that, let me know. Drop it in. I'll send it to you. So many things for the shifting for us this year. And I want to give you complete permission to feel completely excited, unhook from all self-depreciation, self-depreciation, and let's really talk about these codes. CUSP is an equation. It's also a place to bring yourself, as I'm talking about, but it's an equation. Let me just tell you what it is really quick. Just if you're new, conscious creation, unwavering worthiness, synchronicity as a divine intelligence, and prosperity consciousness as your not only your comfort but prosperity as your result. So there is a cusp equation that we're living that includes so much of what we're talking about today. But these inroads, it's important for you to get the inroads because I don't care how much you guys know, it has to be embodied. That's it. It has to be embodied. If you're not embodying the frequency, you can know all the things and you can call yourself, a magician if you know all the things. But unless you feel all the things and you've shifted the things and you reach for a new frequency on the daily, nothing changes. Nothing changes if your energy doesn't change. You can know it, but it doesn't mean your frequency is embodied in it. It doesn't mean that. So that's why I'm always like, seekers to light worker. I work with all of you in between. Seekers to light worker. We are so human and so beautiful, and we are divine intelligence. We have life experience, and knowing what to do is not the same as the practice. So, 2026 on the cusp, I want to give you a practice as you set your intentions. So let's trade. Who wants to trade out resolution? Let's make some trades for resolution before we get into this because I really want to I have I have some good things. The trades. Let's trade resolution. How about for evolution? I'm going to make some. I'm going to identify my dreams and goals, and I'm going to tap into the evolution of myself. What about just intention? It's with great intention, done deal style. I bring myself to the creation of my reality. What if that's all it was? Let's unhook from the depreciation and go with these are my intentions. But they're not intentions like I intend to one day if I get around to it. It's more like this is my done deal intention. This is my done deal decision. Here's my vision. Here's the vision, and I'm sticking to it, right? So it's about your evolution, your vision, and your intent. Done deal, visionary style. So, with that said, tell me what you really want. Tell me where you want to go. Tell me what your vision is. Connie, time to pack my boxes. Can I just tell your story for a second? Tell me yes if I can tell your story because it's so good. Yes. Okay. So my client Connie decided that it was time for a change. And she had no job yet, no place to live yet, nothing. And she just started packing her boxes. She got embodied in a big way. Am I missing anything? And wouldn't you know it, the job appeared, the place appeared, the move appeared, the everything appeared. And I forget your timeline, Connie, but she did the work, she got in powerful alignment, packed her boxes without knowing where it was headed, where she was headed, without knowing. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that is pretty magnificent in the trust department. That is pretty magnificent. It's a pretty magnificent practice of the law of detachment. It's a pretty magnificent example of the great unhook, right? We usually say, I need to know when, I need to know how, I need to know my timeline. She just packed. She felt the nudge. She said, it's go time, I'm packing. As if it's done without her mind knowing. That's masterful. That's masterful. Within 6 months. Okay, you tell me your timeline. Within 6 months from that first box to moving. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So, fair to say that you shifted your energy, you shifted your vibration, and you stepped into a practice of embodiment, like love in action, like the vision in motion, and the universe conspired in your favor. Yeah. She's like, I lorried up. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, there are lots of stories like that, but I'm so happy you shared that. Thank you for that. That was awesome. It's one your that is one of my favorite because it's so like it's just super clear, right? There's no it's like I packed my boxes and 6 months later I moved. Yeah, pretty magical. So so let's make some trades. Who in this room is committed to never setting a resolution ever again because it's rooted in self-depreciation and effort? And I want us to unhook from effort. I mean, yeah, it took her effort, physical effort to pack her boxes, but the effort didn't come from what should I do? It's like, how can I be in the place of such powerful alignment that I can allow myself to pick myself up and be carried? And listen. I've been talking, sidebar, I've been talking a lot about coherence in the new community, and we've been doing heart breath for coherence. But when we step into that level of work, we get so coherent, we can feel the way. I say jostle myself or wiggle myself through the way, but it's like the path lights up when you do. So I light up and the path unfolds and I get coherent where I can hear the way or I can be allow that place in me to be led. It's a trust walk. I've often said, it's a beautiful trust walk. But when you can hear it, then we can remove the effort because we are feeling through it and letting the universe do you. I was doing something the other day and I'm like, well, the universe is doing me right now because I had nothing. There was no mental effort in this. I was literally being carried. So that's the power of the work. I mean, that is the power of the work. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready? So here's where I want you to go. I want you to set your intention or identify your evolution or call up the vision of what you want in life as you're unfolding, moment to moment. Like what's the visionary unfolding that you would like to feel into? You don't even have to nail the vision. You just have to have a feeling of the vision. And if you can put it down in words, I love specificity, but it works without wherever you can get to. But I want you to look at like setting that intention and creating that vision and feeling it as if it's done. If you guys don't have my intention tool, it's around. It's in the groups. It's in the groups. It's on my website. The intention tool is about getting into this place of like quantum embodiment and staying in that kind of alignment so that resolution free we set from this place. So if you're on this or you're watching the replay, like use that tool. I've tweaked it a bunch of times and it's a really good tool. So from that place, the next thing, so that would be our step one. Our step two is secret emotion code in the name of self-love and appreciation. You know that that is part of the work. It's how we take things around here because it rewires our brain, right? And when our brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined, it's like our energetic embodiment is dancing with the field of consciousness. So, in the name of self love and appreciation, I celebrate, feel me on this, I celebrate that vision in advance. So I'm going to say this again because when I talk about equations, emotion is a math equation, it's sacred geometry. And we are co creating with the divine, with the universe, with the field, with the law of attraction. And it doesn't matter to me like how you sort out. We live in a magnetic universe, and these magnetics are highly important. Like this, this number. So number one, vision, right? Get in your vision. That's like number one. Number two, in the name of self-love and appreciation, I celebrate in advance. I celebrate in advance. In the name of deep self-love and appreciation, I celebrate in advance this vision. That here is it's a it's a code, it's a key. It's an like when I talk about like emotion code or I talk about frequency and vibrations, sometimes it's a little hard, especially when you're coming into this metaphysical world. It's a little hard to wrap your mind around. But I can say with certainty, when you shift, life shifts, and there's a reason for it. When you have an emotion and you get embodied in that emotion, like it becomes you, embodied to me means literally it's in your body. It clicks in, you're operating from that place. You know what it's like to be embodied in fear, right? Like you feel it everywhere. This is the same. So when you, in the name of self-love and appreciation, choose to celebrate in advance the vision of step one, it's almost like you are so embodied because it's already done in your celebration. I am, and you don't, you guys, I talk lots in the deeper coursework about like how to really click in to the work and how to really get embodied and taking out what's not working and putting in what works, etc. But for this little exercise, for this ringing in the new year, let's ring it in with this, let's ring it in with celebration. Just like the cusp, we wait to be on the cusp, we wait to celebrate too. Both conditions, waiting to be on the cusp of our dreams and the desires, waiting, and waiting to celebrate, waiting. What does it create for you? It creates a separation. And all of a sudden, we're fighting what we think is time. And here I am on the timeline of 12/31/25, celebrating this portal on the timeline. But what we have to realize as divine crystalline creators, we're walking crystals, right? What we have to realize as divine crystalline creators, we have this human journey and the spiritual journey. That's just enough said. But I want us to realize like the setup of our humanity to create our dreams and desires. I mean, you know that this is like I find my alignment, I unhook from time, but it isn't it's something I know, but how do I get embodied in it? And this is one beautiful way to activate code in standing in the portal. You guys, if I said to you, you are standing between the new year and the old year, you are you are in the sacred pause. We have a couple things to do here. Well, we have three things. The first two are the hardest. It's set my intention, tap into my vision, and be in my, like ignite my evolution with Lori's intention tool. I want to make it easy. And then number two, in the name of deep self-love and appreciation, I celebrate in advance this vision as if it's done and now. And I want you to take today as if I am like the professor in the classroom. I need you to take today to activate this energy. Like you can wait more, but aren't we just like over the waiting? The waiting to be on the cusp, the waiting for the right timing, the waiting for being ready, the waiting to celebrate. The only thing that collapses time is get embodied as if it's done now. And the only thing that shifts us into the becoming of our future self is to bring that here now. And what's glorious about it is our journey, and especially some of us who are called to awakening to remove all that we're not so that we can reveal all that we are. Human journey meets spiritual journey, toggling back and forth with the timeline and without the timeline. Does that make sense? You get me? I want to so highlight and so mirror back for you like what you need to know, do, be, space to hold so that you can create the life that you want to live. And that's love, joy, purpose, health, freedom. Money is the freedom, or the abundance is the freedom. But this is like this reveal of what's possible. So kind of you say I found my first Lori self-love and appreciation work that I did, M100, Masters Academy, 213 or 224, somewhere like all of that, right? Life changing, and the credo still on my fridge and phone. We're going to be there shortly. Don't wait, pack your boxes. Thank you very much for saying that. I love it, right? It's so very real. So kind of you're living the work. She's a perfect example of living the work. Because as I explain it to you, then there's how do we do that? Like, how do we get into that? Like, what does that look like, feel like? Because the things that we know is not always what we be. And therein lies our awakening journey. It's therein lies the awakening journey. So, as if I'm your professor today, I want you to do your homework. You need to get it done before 12 o'clock, your time. Before the clock, Cinderella. Oh God, too many metaphors. Here they come. Cinderella. The clock is going to strike 12. And I want to have you give yourself the space to say, what's my vision? And in the name of deep self-love and appreciation, I celebrate that vision now. That vision's coming into fruition now, as if it's done. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Can I click into it? Did you know this is one of my I remind myself of this often, and every single time I utilize this powerfully, every single time I lay the vision down to the point where my brain does not know the difference between what's real and imagined, that which I have envisioned comes. And I trust that it does every single time. I was driving down the road the other day and I was thinking to myself, why don't people use this more often? And it's because we're afraid. It's because we're rooted in um, reality as we know it, because we want what we think is reliable law. And the truth is reliable law, according to your mind, gets us nowhere. I'd much rather have us tapping into an energy that defies logic. Like creating a life that defies logic is so much more fun, but it's not the known. It's like I have to trust the unknown to create the life that defies logic. Because otherwise, we're not packing boxes. We are doing the do every single day, Groundhog Day, same, create same. Instead of, let me open myself up to the infinite. Let me shift the way that I do this. So code-wise, set that vision, set that intention, click in, and celebrate in the name of self-love and appreciation as if it's done tonight, today, before 12. And I got to get this recording up so people can get it done before 12. But before 12. And if it's after, know that you're not on a timeline, but the ego sometimes needs one. And sometimes the ego needs structure to be able to give herself or himself permission to make the change. And that's when our practice, our spiritual practice, becomes structure. And that's why we do the do's and we create the new me from that structure. Okay. Okay, that's a little lofty. But anyway, you get what I feel, right? You get what I mean. So the next thing I want to talk to you about, and this is probably like, this is more elementary almost, but it's like, you know how you guys, I talk to myself like I'm a teenager sometimes where I'll be like, no, duh, like I need to. So the third point here is we need to be willing. We need to be willing. So you need to be willing to actually put your pen to paper today. And it's so funny to me how we're not willing because we want to keep it the same. You're like this to me. Lori, I do not want to keep my life the same. I want to have a magical, like illogical. One of my clients says, I want to create obscene wealth, right? But we say that, but we have to do the inner work that keeps us in the comfort zone, in the chrysalis. Chrysalises are good, by the way. I don't have a problem with the chrysalis. We just have to realize when we're in it and if we're ready to come out, which then we need to be willing. We need to be willing. We need to be willing. Am I willing to challenge what my mind believes? Am I willing to unhook from time? I wrote a couple things down here. So let me just go off my riff for a second. But am I willing to unhook from time? Am I willing to love myself more today than yesterday? Sounds like the credo here. Am I willing to do it different, open my heart, take the risks, follow my intuition, get coherent so I can hear? Can I? Am I? All in the name of self love and appreciation. And when I do, I'm vibrating much closer than I have ever to the divine crystalline creator that I am, my future self, my becoming, my unfolding. I start to collapse the time between me and who I really, really am. So the willingnesses could go on. I could have I could have 100 different points of am I willing to? Am I willing to? Am I willing to put my toe in the water? Am I willing to retrain my mind so that I unhook from the illusion of scarcity? For me, it's the illusion of hard. It's the illusion of effort. It's the illusion of struggle that I am consistently always as a teacher and a student always of the work. I will always be, because when I stop being, I can't teach you anything. But yesterday I was on my walk and I posted this somewhere in a couple spots today or yesterday. But I was on my walk and all of a sudden I was like feeling it. I was in my heart. I was in my struggle and I was like, oh my God, I am cold. This isn't working for me. My Sherpa thing just broke. I just and I was cold. I was just cold. And it felt to me like just everything was hard in that moment. And my walks, because they're always walking, and I'd forgot my earbuds. I mean, just the whole list just went on. It was like, Alexander and the No Good Very Bad Day or whatever it is. It was like one bad thing led to the next. Micro, because we're just talking about a walk here. But I was in it. And in the same breath, I was sort of like searching around, like, where's my guidance? Because we connect so well right there. It's like my sacred walking meditation every day that I've done for the last year and a half. I here's me getting back to my commitment, feeling good, but walking out and having it not be great. And I'm, guarding and I'm and I'm walking guarded, right? Like as if I'm gonna slip. But I realize, like that's how we live life. So it was super metaphoric, excuse me. So it was just a super metaphoric moment. And all of a sudden I heard my guidance say, where are you pointed, Lori? And I was like, I am pointed on the struggle. I am pointed on the bracing. I am walking on this ice, rightfully so, like someone who's for bracing for life not to work out almost. You know what I mean? And, sometimes we have to tread carefully, but also we have to remember you either get to line up with your treacherous walk here, which is not so treacherous. So change your thoughts or change your actions. And so I changed my thoughts. And as I came around the bend, I was at like minute 36, and I knew that I wanted to get an hour in. And all of a sudden, I had shifted my frequency so powerfully and I connected coherently to my divine guidance, walking, heart breathing. I was in the zone, and all of a sudden, I felt my fingers warm up and my toes warm up, and they never do. All of a sudden, I had a different experience in my frequency. And I was like, Yeah, that sounds very biological, right? Like, of course, you were walking for 36 minutes. Your body's warm now. But that's not how typically my body works. Usually my fingers are cold and my toes are still cold. So for me, in my experience, I had, yeah, exactly. Where you pointed, it was such simple guidance, but I bring that to you today to let life be that kind of mirror for you because the as you live 2026 and you get embodied in that vision, you celebrate that vision in the name of self love and appreciation as if it's done already. Like you're already celebrating as if it's now. That celebration code is just so powerful. As you live this, you also have to realize that in the cracks of your life, on your walks or at the grocery store, in your relationships or in your efforting, there's an opportunity for you to really become the greatest version of you. I take these the mundane and make them magical and make them be the, I don't know, what do you want to say? You take the mundane, the day to day, and make it be the springboard through which life becomes truly prosperous and abundant beyond measure. But we have to live and click into that place. And so here I am, like walking my talk, living the work, a big, life being a full length mirror for me in that moment, and finding the frequency, finding the frequency of effort and struggle and remapping that for myself in that moment, in that moment. So we can go from these things that feel like in the moment tiny shifts all the way to what feels like a shift so profound it crossed all your timelines, so to speak. When sometimes I have shifts so profound that feels to me like they cross all timelines. And that's awakening. And that's awakening. So be thinking about this, where you pointed as you walk through 2026. Where am I pointed? And what do I want to do with that? Because I've got my vision. I'm celebrating as if it's done. The universe is going to show me my sticking points. And I need to ask myself, where am I pointed? And where do I want to go? And what am I willing to shift, do differently, open up to? What am I willing to risk? What am I willing to invest in? Because there's a vibrational return universally, magnetically for your emotional investment. And so you can feel me bringing this to you. Like we've got this like mini stack going on here. I like to teach in activation stacks. Like I give you guys all these different ways to activate different energies. But this is like a mini stack. Do you feel it? It's an inroad. And so it's a little bit of a yeah, it's a 2026 Happy New Year launch, right? But it shifts you. And when you shift your energy, life opens up differently. Sometimes ridiculously immediately. It really does happen like that. And sometimes you have an opening that reflects a shift you made 25 years ago, and you're mind blown because you think it's going to happen in a certain time, and it doesn't happen in your time. It happens on divine time, but even more specifically, it happens in aligned time. And when you get really aligned, time goes away. The time goes away. But we're always going to have timelessness and a timeline because we are divine intelligence meets human journey. And the evolution happens in between. The awakening happens in between. So what is about okay, so let's bring this down out of the clouds for a minute. Who enjoys the clouds? Who enjoys the metaphysical conversation around this? Tell me if you like that because I like to live over there. But I also like to ground it, right? I also I wanna ground it for you because we have to get embodied. You love it, you love it. Okay. We have to get embodied and we have to live this work. We have got to be in the living of it and say like what does that look like for me? What does that feel like for me? So that's why I ground everything in self-love and appreciation. That's why we do heart breath. because they bring us there. That's why we ignite the CUSP equation, because it's a framework that brings us to it. Because otherwise, we're walking around as human beings trying to keep ourselves safe all the time. And sometimes we have to realize we are right now coherent, high vibrating, and doing the work and being in the willingness to bring us closer to the, oh my gosh, the divine future self that you really are. Powerful beyond measure, you know? So people say, Laura, you teach manifestation. I'm like, I do, but I teach becoming. This is, you know, ascension. It's awakening, it's evolution. That's what we do. So, but I literally know that you can't personally transform yourself without becoming an amazing manifester. And I also know that you can't manifest like a goddess unless you personally transform yourself. I have united them together for a reason, for an absolute reason. So, thanks, Connie. Yes. And that's because manifestation, is the byproduct. It's the byproduct. But people don't want to transform always. So I just give you both. People say transformation is hard. Well, it is sometimes for some in some ways, but I like to keep it light, and I also like to tie it with manifesting because your good morning, good morning. Hi, Christina. Aw, nice that you could come. So we're uniting the two because it honors the divine creator that you are, the divine crystalline creator that you are, infinite beyond measure, and it honors the human journey, who, by the way, has had a shitty childhood, who, by the way, has gone through a hard divorce, who, by the way, and by the way, what else have we had? Who, by the way, suffers from codependency, who, by the way, um, has had a major loss. Who am I speaking to? Do you think I'm speaking about myself? I'm speaking about all of us. I've had those things too, right? So, who, by the way, I mean, fill in the blank, who lost their love, who, by the way, like fill in the blank. And then who, by the way, decided to take their power back, come home to who they really are. And that's what we really do. And it does mean I manifest a better life, and I do manifest that version of myself along the way. But, you know, you feel me. So, so tell me, like, I want to throw this back to you. Who in this room is going to do the homework before midnight, Cinderella's, and who in this room, and who in this room is going to really examine what am I willing to do? Who am I willing to become? What am I willing to invest emotionally? And maybe it is like I would be totally cool if your answer was to love myself more today than yesterday. I'd be totally cool if, I mean, I really feel like I was like supporting you guys this year. If you said, I'm going to celebrate my vision as if it's done every single day of 365. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that kind of consistency? I mean, it's life changing. So, sometimes it's like, I want to create this life that defies logic. If you want to create the life that defies logic, that's been my I've been not defying, sorry, contemplating. I've been contemplating what it means to defy logic the last couple days. And I'm like, if you want to defy logic, you cannot be logical. I'm just saying, if you want to defy logic, you cannot be logical. You have to be meta, physical, spiritual, divinely intelligent. You must be connected to the power to defy the logic. And so that's where I'm holding us. That's where I'm going to hold us this year. That's where I'm going to hold us this year. So we're going to end with, of course, the credo, because the credo is It is our come from. I wrote this in 2014, sorry, 15, one New Year's Eve. Um, oh, which is so crazy. That means which means I wrote this 11 years ago. And I was sitting one year, I was holding Ava on my lap, my fourth baby. And well, she's almost 19, so do the math. She was literally, you know, what does that bring her to? Eight or so. I knew she was a little too big for my lap in that chair, but she was cuddled up next to me. And we were watching New Year's stuff on the TV, and I literally felt one of the biggest downloads. I grabbed the paper next to me, I put it on the arm of the chair, and was writing on the soft arm of the chair as as it flooded me. And my grandfather used to say, "I love you, I love you." What is the saying? I can hear it in Italian right now. Ti amo più di ieri, ma non quanto di domani. Today I love you more than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. And like he held that as kind of like like the anchor, right? He held that as like our legacy. And so we had a family crest, and it was hanging in there. Oh, it was hanging in their dining room for the longest time. Anyway, so I heard this translation. I promise to love myself more today than yesterday. And I'm going to read this to you, and I want to share with you the frequency of this. Um, because it holds the frequency of that which we speak today. The credo is cusp, it's cuspy. The credo is a vibrational match to the field. The credo is a vibrational match to standing between worlds that are calling us to evolve and awaken and ascend. Here's my humanity, and here's my divine spirituality. Here's my humanity, and here's my infinite nature. Here's my humanity, and here's my future self. The credo calls us to the sweet spot that feels much like today, you guys, the portal between the ending and the new beginning, which we get to choose every day. We do not have to wait. Isn't that like so good to know? I'm going to read it to you. Oh, but before that, I have so much change going on in this business, and I'm starting a new round. I said I'm starting a new round of the Manifestation 100 on January 5th. If you guys want to join me, let me know. I will get you the information on how you can join. We have moved the group that was the platform for hosting. I have moved it, and it is looking beautiful, and I'm excited to use the new platform for the next round of the M100. So round one was September of 2014, and it is now January of 2026. So this has been structurally such a supportive, um, to say course is not right, structure, but holder of energies. It has been a powerful holder of energies for many years for many of you. And as I move over to this new platform, I've just really been like invigorated again. And as I've like touched some of the deeper frequencies myself, it's just been awesome to make the move. So if you want to join me for a round or two or three this year, 100 Days of Intentional Creation starts on the 5th, and I'll just like toss it out to you guys. Message me and I'll give you the information. So, Debbie, come on over. All right, you guys. So, the credo, we're going to wrap it up right here. You're welcome, Connie. Happy to refocus you. Yes, where are you pointed, you guys? Where are you pointed? All right, here we go. Happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year. It's going to be a beautiful 2026. And here we're going to point ourselves in the direction of our becoming. I promise to love myself more today than yesterday, to bask in the now, to feel the vision of my dream as if it were already here, and remember that all my co-creative power lies right here within me. I vow to remember everything is energy, money is love, and I am limitless. I promise to live kindly, gently, and in the same breath be a ferocious wanter, an on fire with desire creator. And I vow to always create through the power of love. I promise to play big, have dreams bigger than myself, and keep my vision in front of me more often than not. Allow inspiration to sweetly whisper to me and swiftly act upon it. I promise to leave fear at the door, never give up, always step out in courage, and be my most authentic self, which is love. I choose it consciously and more easily each and every day, and as my results increase exponentially and joyfully. I vow to leap at the chance to expand my spirit, free my ego, and as I do, I am blessed with one synchronicity after another, after another, after another. I revel in each and every one as it lights the path before me effortlessly. I am deeply honored to be a part of this amazing life and have the unending honor for the miracles that unravel before me and that I am. Opportunities, connections, perfect moments, winks from God and the universe are a part of my every moment. I live a life completely connected to spirit, and because I do, life unfolds at the speed of love. My universal timeline collapses effortlessly. My life unfolds with ease and harmony and grace. Oh, the universe loves speed, and so do I. Aligning with that speed is exhilarating. And when I do, I become one with love. I promise to not look back, to vision forward, setting into motion my reality, my prosperity, my tranquility, and my joy. I open my heart, my mind, and my arms to receive all that is offered to me, and I bask in deep appreciation of the blessings and manifestations yet to come. Ah, the Credo. We are celebrating in advance in the name of deep self-love and appreciation. We are coming with willingness, and we are coming with an absolute vision to anchor into, to embody, and to allow the becoming of your future self. Feel the energetics. This is not linear, right? This is an activation, and this is a magnetism, and it's a choice of becoming. So, with that said, tell me, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, guys? Are we feeling ignited? Are we feeling launched? Are we feeling ready? I hope so. Energized. Good. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, you guys, I will post this on replay. I'm going to drop it in the new group in the replays section of Live with Lori. This has been Inspired with Love. Awesome. Thanks, Charlotte. I am so launched. Rocks have been released. Good. All right. You guys, seriously, Happy New Year. From my heart to yours, from our home to yours. Tim and I both really are holding space for you guys together, power couple style, to hold space for you to create everything that you want to create. So I will see you guys very soon. We've got great masterclasses coming this year. I've got some beautiful things in store. Please join me in the CUSP community if you have not. It is peaceful, it is beautiful, it is pointed. There is resources there that you can use, especially if you step into these like the gateway work. Join me there because it is a good place to be, and it's it's an invitation to bring yourself to the cusp every single day by choice, willingness style. All right, have a wonderful new year. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.